Hi everyone, once again this is Ordina Hope at ordinahope.com, and this is a part of the series of your breast reduction augmentation series. So today in this video I want to talk about allergies, tape allergies, excuse me. When I was in preparation mode, the doctors, I went to all the pre-appointments. I looked at videos on YouTube. I searched to the internet for what we call breast reduction traumas or any apprehensions or preparations. And I didn't come across tape allergies. The doctors didn't even, they asked you, are you allergic to latex? Nobody asked me, was I allergic to tape? Now, I'm a holistic person, so I'm not going to say I don't go to the doctor, but it's not my end all be all. And so I haven't really dealt with tape. Now, looking back 20 years ago when I was always having to be at the hospital because I had bad kidneys back in the day before I got into holistic health. So remembering back then when they would put the white tape across here, it would actually tear my skin just for that little short half a minute or whatever to stop your blood from flowing. You hold your arm up like this and you take it off, and then my skin would tear. So I would have it would just be that quick to tear my skin. Now, if they'd have asked that question, I believe inside of me, I would have remembered. But going in to such a high risk, because it's a very high risk, a high-risk surgery, that question was never brought up, and I don't understand why. Doctors should know to ask that question. I am challenging them right now that they should know to ask that question about tape allergies, because it caused me to go through a process that was highly, highly unnecessary, because finding out later that they could have used another type of product that wouldn't have been such a bad process for me. So my advice to you is, when you go to your appointments, your preliminary appointments, when they're asking you to measure, because they will measure you, I don't want to stand totally up, but they will measure you down here, across here, and right here, and all that. And when they're doing all that, and they ask you, do you have any allergies they need to know of? Do you have any heart murmurs? If you have a heart murmur, please, please tell the doctors, because they have to prep you with a certain antibiotic before the surgery. So think about all the things, because when you have a heart murmur or mitral valve prolapse, not erythromycin, they're going to give you erythromycin or something like that, or not. I'm not a doctor. That's what they gave me. Don't take that advice. So if you have aortic valve stenosis, aortic valve stenosis, and mitral valve prolapse. Those are the legal terms for some heart murmurs. I'm sure there's some other ones, but I was diagnosed with aortic valve stenosis, then misdiagnosed with aortic valve stenosis, correctly diagnosed with mitral valve prolapse. So they had to also deal with that aspect of my system when preparing to do my breast. So keep in mind, if you have any type of latex allergies, let them know. They're going to ask that because that's the end thing to ask right now. But if you've ever had an itchy, allergic, even no matter how small it was, if you've ever put on a Band-Aid and it caused a rash, or you put on that white tape from the doctor's office and it caused a rash, or it caused a tear of the first layer of skin, please, I'm begging you to let your doctors know so that he can take a different route, she can take a different route in her surgery process. At the end of the videos, or I haven't figured out, bear with me, I haven't figured out how I'm going to present the photos, because they're very graphic, and yet, however, they need to be seen. So I don't know if I'm going to be vulnerable enough to just blast them on YouTube like some people are. They'll just open their breast and let everybody see. I'm not that kind of person unless God say different. The creek rise and God say different. I'm going to figure out a way to properly do it without being offensive and not without being vulgar and without going against what I am and who I am. So anyway, keep in mind, if you have any allergies, let your doctor know. If you have any heart murmurs or anything like that you've forgotten in the past, you've been diagnosed, that is the one most forgotten diagnosis around. So I don't even know why they diagnose you, because there's no process with that, not with my old self. But anyway, and then if you've ever had any allergies with tape. So keep those things in mind. Keep them at the forefront. Make sure you're there in your preliminary discussions with your physicians. And so, other than that, we'll move on to the next video. I'll see you over there. Have a super fantastic, wonderful day. And remember, you are a wonderful, dynamic, perfect being. Loving you. Ordina Hope, OrdinaHope.com.